Hey, when's the right time to call it quits on a long-term relationship? I've been having a bit of a melancholy and reflective weekend, not because of anything that's going on in my life, but because of what's going on in the lives of some good friends of mine. And I've had some thoughts about this, and I think that a lot of it has to do with how we begin a relationship in the first place. For an awful lot of people, particularly if you're not particularly conscious or educated on these issues, our relationships start in lust. They start in physical attraction. They start in finding somebody sexy, finding that kind of connection, and it growing into something because we like the person. We like them. We have good sex. We're attracted. But then, let's say, especially if children come along, societal pressure often in any kind of relationship that's gone beyond a certain number of months, sometimes a year or two, just kind of results in marriage. It's not a conscious decision as much as it is a bowing to pressure. And we find ourselves in a relationship with somebody we're just not compatible with. And this is where so many relationship beginnings go wrong, is that they're completely reliant on the physical attraction, the liking, and completely ignore the compatibility, the red flags, the issues around how somebody thinks, acts, how they were brought up, their attitudes and these sort of things. And so we find ourselves down the line in a relationship as it goes on that is just actually more of an irritation. And look, so many of my videos are about this, and so many of the comments indicate that there are many people, I would estimate from my comments 40 to 45% of, at least of the women who follow me, that are deeply unhappy in their relationships. And look, there are some actually quite easy fixes, and I've done a ton of videos about those, things that can be done that are pretty easy, that will help. And of course I recommend marriage counseling and therapy, but I also know that there's a lot of relationships that actually are doing more harm than good, both for the people that are in them and the kids. And so many people say we're staying together for the kids. But if what you're providing those kids is a toxic environment where there's seething resentment and you basically hate each other, how's that benefiting them? So I came to think about, when is it time to call it quits? And I think the time to call it quits is when all of the things I suggest in therapy, and then a wholehearted discussion, you discover that he or she hates you just as much as you hate them. And the mature thing, the right thing, the kind thing to do, call it quits. Call it quits amicably and go your separate ways and start again. Start again with wisdom.